Hey there, Space Explorers. It's me, Gotham. Welcome back to DJWorld AG. Today we're diving into our closest cosmic neighbor. Any guesses? It's the moon. Stick around because we've got some mind-blowing facts and a fun quiz to test your lunar knowledge. Ready to blast off? Let's go! First things first, let's introduce our star of the show, or should I say, satellite of the show. That's right, we're talking about the moon, our natural satellite orbiting the Earth. The moon is about 384,400 kilometers, or 238,855 miles away from the Earth. Imagine that. That's like driving around the whole Earth's equator almost 10 times. The moon is pretty big too, with a diameter of 3,474.8 kilometers, which is also 2,159.1 miles. If we spread out the moon's surface area, it would cover about 37.9 million square kilometers. That's 14.6 million square miles. That's about the size of Africa. Now let's talk about mass. The moon weighs in at a hefty 7.35 by 10 to the power of 22 kilograms. That might sound huge, but it's only about 1/81st of the Earth's mass. That's why the moon's gravity is just about 1/6 of what we feel here on Earth. So if you weigh 60 kilograms on the Earth, you'd only weigh 10 kilograms on the moon. Talk about a great place for a diet. Here's a fun fact about time on the moon. A single day on the moon, known as a synodic month, lasts about 29.5 Earth days. So if you were having a party on the moon, it will last a whole lot longer. Let's do a quick recap. The moon is a natural satellite orbiting the Earth. It's about 384,400 kilometers away from us. Its diameter is 3,474.8 kilograms. The surface area is 37.9 million square kilometers. It has a mass of 7.35 by 10 to the power of 22 kilograms, and that's about 1/81st of the Earth's mass. Gravity on the moon is about 1/6 of Earth's. A lunar day lasts about 29.5 Earth days. Alright, it's quiz time. Let's see how well you've been paying attention. I'll ask a question and give you 4 options. At the end, comment your answer below and see if you're a moon expert. Question number 1. What is the average distance from the Earth to the moon? A. 150,000 kilometers. B. 300,000 kilometers. C. 238,855 miles. And D. 500,000 miles. Think about it. Pause the video for a second. Got your answer? It's C. 238,855 miles. Question number 2. How many times is the moon's mass less than the Earth's mass? A. 50 times. B. 81 times. C. 100 times. And D. 200 times. Pause the video for a sec. And the answer is B. 81 times. We hope you enjoyed learning these cool facts about the moon. Now we're going to uncover the fascinating geological features of the moon, from dark plains to craters and mysterious channels. There's so much to learn. Ready to explore? Let's blast off! Let's start our lunar journey by exploring the different geological features of the moon. First up, we have the Maria. Maria are large, dark, basaltic plains formed by ancient volcanic eruptions. These vast plains cover about 16% of the moon's surface. They're called Maria, which is Latin for seas, because early astronomers thought they were large bodies of water. Pretty cool, right? Next, we have the highlands. These are the brighter, heavily cratered regions of the moon. The highlands are much older than the Maria and are covered in craters from billions of years of impacts. Speaking of craters, the moon is absolutely covered with them. These craters are results in meteorites, asteroids, and comets colliding with the moon over billions of years. Because the moon has no atmosphere, there's no weather to erode them, so they stay there forever. Some craters are tiny, while others are hundreds of kilometers across. Last but not least, we have the rilles. These are long, narrow depressions or channels that can be straight, curved, or sinuous. Scientists believe rilles were formed by volcanic activity or the collapse of underground lava tubes. They give the moon a really interesting, almost alien landscape. Let's do a quick recap of the moon's geological features. Maria, dark basaltic plains formed by ancient volcanic eruptions covering about 16% of the moon's surface. Highlands, brighter, heavily cratered regions. Craters, formed by impacts from meteorites, asteroids, and comets. And lastly, rilles, long, narrow depressions or channels. Alright, it's quiz time. Let's see how well you remember these features. I'll ask a question and give you 4 options. At the end, comment your answers below and see if you're a lunar expert. Question number 1. What are the dark basaltic plains on the moon's surface called? A. Highlands, B. Craters, C. Rilles, and D. Maria. Think about it. Got your answer? It's D. Maria. Question number 2. Which geological feature covers about 16% of the moon's surface? A. Craters, B. Highlands, C. Maria, and D. Rilles. And the answer is C. Maria. Question number 3. What are the long, narrow depressions or channels on the moon called? A. Craters, B. Rilles, C. Maria, and D. Highlands. And the answer is B. Rilles. Hope you enjoyed learning about the moon's geological features. Now we're going to be looking at the magical faces of the moon. Ever wondered why the moon looks different each night? Stick around and we'll uncover the mystery together and test your lunar knowledge with a fun quiz at the end. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. The moon goes through 8 distinct phases during its cycle, which lasts about 29.5 days. Ready to explore each phase? Here we go! The first phase is the new moon. During this phase, the moon is positioned between the Earth and the Sun. This means the side of the moon facing us is completely dark. It's almost invisible in the sky. Phase 2, the waxing crescent. Now a tiny silver of the moon begins to show. This silver grows larger each night as we move towards the next phase. Phase 3, the first quarter. At this point, half of the moon is illuminated. It's called the first quarter because we're a quarter of the way through the lunar cycle. Phase 4, the waxing gibbous. More than half of the moon is now illuminated, and it continues to grow brighter each night as we approach the full moon. Phase 5, the full moon. The entire face of the moon is illuminated, making it the brightest and most noticeable face. This is when the moon is opposite to the sun with the Earth in between. Phase 6, the waning gibbous. After the full moon, the light starts to wane, but more than half of the moon is still visible. Phase 7, the last quarter. Again, half of the moon is illuminated, but it's the opposite half from the first quarter. We're now 3/4 of the way through the lunar cycle. Phase 8, the waning crescent. A small silver of the moon is visible again before it completely disappears, leading us back to the new moon phase. Let's recap the phases of the moon. Phase number 1, the new moon. Then waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent. And by the way, the entire cycle takes about 29.5 days to complete. Alright, it's quiz time. Let's see how well you remember the phases. I'll ask a question and give you 4 options. At the end, comment your answers below and see if you're a lunar expert. Question number 1. During which phase is the entire face of the moon illuminated? A. New moon, B. First quarter, C. Full moon, and D. Last quarter. Think about it. Got your answer? It's C. Full moon. Question number 2. What phase comes right after the first quarter? A. New moon, B. Waxing crescent, C. Waxing gibbous, and D. Waning gibbous. And the answer is C. Waxing gibbous. We hope you enjoyed learning about the phases of the moon. Now we're going to journey through the history of moon missions, from the famous Apollo landings to robotic lunar probes. There's so much to discover, right? Ready for a liftoff? Let's dive in. Let's start with the most iconic moon mission, the Apollo missions by NASA. These were the first and only manned missions to the moon. Surprising, right? Let's take a closer look at it. The Apollo 11 mission in 1969 was a monumental moment in history. Astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to set foot on the moon, with Michael Collins orbiting above in the command module. Armstrong's famous words were, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind," still echo through history. But the Apollo program didn't stop there. We had Apollo 12, Apollo 14, 15, 16, and 17, each contributing significantly to our understanding of the moon. These missions conducted various scientific experiments, collected lunar samples, and explored different lunar terrains. Now let's talk about the unsung heroes of lunar exploration, the unmanned lunar probes. These missions, conducted by various space agencies, have provided invaluable data about the moon. The Soviet Union's lunar program was the first to reach the moon. Luna 2 impacted the moon in 1959, and Luna 3 sent back the first images of the far side of the moon. Meanwhile, NASA's Surveyor program successfully landed robotic spacecrafts onto the moon, providing detailed images and analysis of the lunar surface. Fast forward to recent years, China's Chang'e program has made significant strides. Chang'e 3 landed a rover on the moon in 2013, and Chang'e 4 made history by landing on the far side of the moon in 2019, a first space-in exploration. Let's do a recap on the historical moon missions. Apollo missions. NASA's manned moon missions, Apollo 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Apollo 11 in 1969 was the first manned landing. Lunar probes, Soviet Union's unmanned missions that provided early lunar data. Surveyor probes, NASA's robotic missions that prepared for human landings. And lastly, Chang'e's missions, China's modular lunar exploration program. Alright guys, it's quiz time. Let's see how well you remember these missions. I'll ask a question and give you 4 options. At the end of the video, comment your answer below and see if you're a lunar expert. Question number 1. Which Apollo mission was the first to land humans on the moon? A. Apollo 10, B. Apollo 11, C. Apollo 12, and D. Apollo 13. Think about it. Pause the video for a second, okay? Got your answer? It's B. Apollo 11. Question number 2. Which program sent the first images on the far side of the moon? A. Surveyor, B. Chang'e, C. Apollo, and D. Luna. And the answer is D. Luna. Question number 3. Which mission was the first to land on the far side of the moon? A. Apollo 12, B. Luna 3, C. Chang'e 4, and D. Surveyor 1. And the answer is C. Chang'e 4. Hope you enjoyed learning about these incredible historical missions to the moon. Now we're going to explore how the moon influences our planet in ways you might not expect, from ocean tides to climate stability. The moon plays a crucial role. Ready to dive in? Let's go! First up, let's talk about tides. Ever wondered why the sea level rise and fall? It's all thanks to the moon. The moon's gravitational pull creates what we call tides. As the moon orbits Earth, its gravity pulls on the oceans, causing the water to bulge out in the direction of the moon. The bulge creates high tides. On the opposite side of Earth, inertia causes another bulge, resulting in a second higher tide. As the Earth rotates, different areas move into these bulges, experiencing high tides in between these bulges. We get low tides. This constant movement of water affects marine life, coastal ecosystems, and even human activities like fishing and shipping. Now let's talk about another crucial role the moon plays, stabilizing Earth's axis. Earth's axis is tilted at about 23.5 degrees, which is why we have seasons. But did you know that without the moon, this tilt could vary wildly? The moon's gravitational pull helps to stabilize Earth's tilt. Without the moon, the tilt of Earth's axis could fluctuate significantly, leading to extreme changes in climate. With the moon's stabilizing influence, we could enjoy a relatively stable climate, which is essential for life on Earth. So, to recap, the moon influences Earth in 2 major ways. Tides. The moon's gravitational pull causes high and low tides, affecting marine life and coastal activities. Stabilizing Earth's axis. The moon helps stabilize the tilt of Earth's axis, contributing to a stable climate. Alright, it's quiz time. Let's see how well you remember these influences. I'll ask you a question and give you 4 options. At the end, as usual, comment your answers below and see if you're a lunar expert. Question number 1. What causes the high and low tides on Earth? A. Sun's gravitational pull. B. Wind patterns. C. Moon's gravitational pull. And D. Earth's rotation. Pause the video and think about it for a second. Got your answer? It's C. Moon's gravitational pull. Question number 2. How does the moon help stabilize Earth's climate? A. By controlling weather patterns. B. By stabilizing the tilt of Earth's axis. C. By reflecting sunlight. And D. By affecting ocean currents. And the answer is B. By stabilizing the tilt of Earth's axis. adventure. We hope you enjoyed learning about the moon as much as we did. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode of DJ World AG. And remember, keep looking up. See you next time, Space Explorers. Bye.